Get me that signal. We need no panic.
Loki, why have you summoned me, Odin, the All-Father of the Gods and ruler of Asgard, to this meeting along with your brother Thor?
Father, we all know of the discontent that has infiltrated our house. Rather than continue to scheme, plot, and wage war, I propose that we play this simple game, developed by the mortals, in order to determine who the future ruler of Asgard should be.
You are the only one plotting and scheming, Loki. I am tired of your lies. I will hear him out, Thor. Loki is also my son.
Thank you, Father. This game is called Völuspá, and is played with tiles on a table. All three of us will play. If Thor wins, I will cease my quest to rule all of Asgard for all eternity. If you win, I will abide by whatever decision in this matter that you make. However, if I win, you must proclaim me to be your heir and future ruler upon your death. What say you? No more bloodshed. Just one game. Oh, and by the way, my brother, Jane Foster sent up a dish called brownies for you. Heimdall asked me to give them to you. They're very special brownies.
Oh, thank you, Loki. Father, it is a trick. Don't listen to this master of lies. Hey, this brownie is delicious. I know you cannot be trusted, but I have a father's wish that you still possess enough integrity to honor your sworn word, and I do wish for peace between my sons. Oh, my animal skins have fallen off. Yeah, oh, much better. Now I'm warm. You must explain all of the rules, Loki. I know your tricks.
Of course, Father. I do swear. What say you, brother?
Yes, go ahead. Pops, you really should try one of these brownies. They're incredible. Yes, well, go ahead, Loki. Tell us of this Voluspa.
Völuspá. And yes, I'm pronouncing it with a W because they don't have V in Norse or German, so I'm saying Völuspá. I'm probably wrong, but I like to make myself think that I'm right. And that's what's important. Besides, that's my review. Is a game from Stronghold and White Goblin Games that was designed by Scott Caputo, and it's both complex and simple at the same time. Let me explain. In simple terms, it's a tile-laying game in which you're building a crossword-style grid where no single line can be longer than 7 tiles. If the tile you place has the highest value in the row and or column you place it in, then you score 1 point for each tile in that row or column. So in simple terms, you start with 5 tiles, place a tile in the grid, mark your points scored on the track, and draw back up to 5 tiles. Play proceeds to the next player, and ends when no one has any tiles left. The highest score wins the game. So, fairly simple. The complexity is added by the tiles themselves. Each tile has its own rules and idiosyncrasies for placement, and by the proper manipulation of your tile placements, you can be victorious. There are 8 different types of tiles in the base game, and there is also an expansion included with the base game that adds additional tiles. But we'll deal with the 8 base tiles first. Odin and Thor are straightforward and have the values listed on them of 8 and 7 respectively. Next up are trolls, and they're worth 6, and once placed you can't place another tile adjacent to a troll. Next are the dragons. These are value 5. And they can be used to cover up a previously placed tile. Wolves are value 4. But they stack in a row or column. So 2 in a row or column are value 8. 3 are value 12, and so on. The Skadi are value 3 and can be exchanged with an existing tile on the grid. The Valkyries are worth 2, but they score when they're paired with another Valkyrie at both ends of a row or column. And finally, Loki the Trickster is only value 1, but every tile adjacent to him becomes a value 0 tile. Let's take a quick peek on how the game would play. So here we are ready to play the game. This is the starting tile. You can pick any starting tile randomly, as long as it's not a troll, and put it there on the board. And then each person takes their turn. Let's see, green is going to go first, and they're going to put another Valkyrie right next to that one. And so, since they're at both ends, they get 2 points. So, 1, we start over there, go 1, 2. And then he draws another tile. Next up is the dreaded purple. Purple decides he's going to do something similar. No, he doesn't. He decides to put this down, the Skadi, who's got a value of 3. And since he's got the highest value in the whole row, he gets the amount of points as equal to the number of tiles. So 1 tile, 2 tile, 3 tile, 3 points. 1, 2, 3 points. Ha-ha! And he draws another tile. And then we go to the blue player. Oh, the blue player, who has a lot of high value tiles. But he's going to go with his Valkyrie again. Place the Valkyrie here. And now, doesn't score any points for being the highest value tile. But, since there's one at the end and the beginning, they score points. Yes, points. They're going to score because they're at the beginning and end of the... So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Blue scores. Everyone is happy. He gets a new tile. We go back to green's turn. He decides he's going to put in Fenrir. Right here. And Fenrir is a 4. So he's going to score this line again. It's the highest value in that line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He draws another tile. Well, we got Odin here. So we're going to put Odin with Odin. That's Thor! I told you! Never listen to me! Thor! We're going to put him right there. And since he is now the highest value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points for purple. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay for purple! Hurrah! And then, of course, finally, the line can only be 7 tiles long before you have to start going in other directions. But, luckily, blue has Odin, who is value 8. And he's going to go here at the end. And everyone is happy for blue because blue is going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. The highest he can score for a line. Ta-da! That puts blue in the lead. That's the basic game. That's pretty much how it's played. There you go. Now let's continue. As you can see, you need to know the tiles well in order to see at a glance what your best play could possibly be. I believe the reason that the additional included tiles are listed as an expansion is simply because you need to learn the other tiles very well before adding the new complexities into the game. The expansion is called the Saga of Edda, and it comes with the base game. The Saga of Edda adds hell tiles. Right here. One of these is given to each player at the start of the game. The hell tile is placed over an existing tile and becomes a space that splits rows and columns into 2 new lines. Like that. Poof! Flip it over. Those lines are split. Now this is one line, this is another line. That's 3 long, that's 3 long. Crazy, isn't it? It scores 1 point for each tile adjacent to it when it's placed, including diagonally. Diagonally. Jotun the Giant. I am Jotun the Giant, the Bifrost Giant. Bumps another tile on the grid to either end of the line that you choose. So, let's see. Oh, let's bump him over there, kind of thing. See? The Sea Serpent scores across gaps and may exceed 7 points, but only when it has the highest value in the column or the row. See, so if there was a gap here, like right here, and he was gone, and he was gone, he would score across that gap too. Kind of cool, huh? Kind of cool. And finally, Hermit allows you to place another tile on the same line after you place a Hermit tile. So you place one, and then you can place another tile on the same line, all in the same turn. And you score each tile separately, which is kind of nice. So the expansion adds whole new dimensions to the game. But once you've mastered the included expansion, you can pick up the recently released Order of the Gods expansion and add even more to your game of Völuspá. Order of the Gods. Order of the Gods includes 4 new tiles. Now, the dwarf adds some math to the game, so you'll need to have 1 less mug of ale in your system when you're using him. He scores the values of all adjacent tiles, divided by 2, and rounded down. There is some great potential here. Freya is the goddess of fertility, and you can either play her with a value of 3, right there, or discard her to place another tile with a +1 booster on it. So Odin would become a value 9 instead of a value 8, and they include these little tokens with booster values on them with the game so that you don't have to try to remember all that. The Raven is the companion of Odin, and like the dragon, he can be placed over other tiles, but he does so twice when he's placed, and he scores for each placement. He remains on top of the second tile that he's placed on. So he goes hop, hop. Kind of cool. Finally, Neohogger. I am Neohogger. It's a monster. Gives you 2 bonus points per Neohogger on the line when you score it. And he's a value 7, which is really nice. The expansion also includes some 0 value tokens, so that you can put these around Loki when you place him, and you can keep track of what the value is of the people around Loki easily, which is really, really nice. That is Voluspa, and the included expansion, the Saga of Edda, and the new Voluspa, Order of the Gods.
So, then I place Odin here, and I score 4 points, because no one has a higher value than Odin, the All-Father.
Yes, but then I place Loki here, and now your Odin is worth nothing. I score 6 points, putting me in the lead. Your turn, Thor.
Do not rush me, Loki, or I will have you roasting on a spot. I said spot! Look, it's me on this tile. I am Thor. I am value 7. I will go here and score 3 points. Are you feeling all right, my son? Anyway, my final tile is Fenrir, who has a value of 12. I score 6 points, and am once again in the lead. Odin, the All-Father.
Very good, Father. But not good enough. I also place Fenrir, who has now got a value of 16. I score a full 7 points, and only my addle-brained brother here now stands between me and the throne of Asgard.
What hast thou done to me, trickster? These brownies contain some sorcery, and I will destroy you for it. Ha 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 ha. Wait, I've got it. My final tile is the Raven, and I place him here to score 4 points, and then I place him here for a total of 9, giving me the high score and the game. Did you think your paltry attempt to befuddle me would give you the throne? Ha! I've defeated a Bifrost giant with a barley of mead in me. Barley? A barrel. And a mug of ale in my hand. I'm going to have some more brownies. Actually, these brownies are pretty good.
The biggest problem I had with Voluspa was remembering what each tile did so that I could apply some strategy to the placement. That's probably why the game has the extra tiles included as an expansion, so that you don't bite off more than you can chew initially. In fact, I decided for the first few games to simply do a blind draw of the tiles each turn, and then figure out where to place that tile. By playing that way, I eliminated one level of strategy, and was able to concentrate on placing one tile at a time. We were able to learn all of the basic tile placement strategies within a couple of games. And then we added the hand of 5 tiles back into it, and we were able to avoid much of the analysis paralysis that you will experience when first learning this game. After you have all the basics down, adding in some of the expansion tiles adds variety to the game. Order of the Gods expansion tells you not to use all the tiles at the same time, because, of course, adding tiles adds length to the game. They give you 4 different suggestions of tile combinations you can use, but, of course, you can use any combination you wish. Concerning the new tiles in Order of the Gods, I like the way they've added new options that are utilized at different times of the game. The dwarf is more useful near the end of the game when you've got a bunch of tiles out and some spaces that the dwarf can fill to maximize his points. The raven has to be planned for, as his low value makes him most useful when lines are just starting to form. So use him early, or keep your eyes open for opportune moments, or engineer them yourself. Freya is really useful for her special ability and should be saved for that purpose. Don't waste her unless you need it, because a bump at the right time can score you some big points. Probably more in the mid-game and towards the end. Finally, Neohogger, I'm still figuring out. If you can plan ahead enough to take advantage of his 2 bonus points without leaving the field open for your opponents to score those same points, then you're a better player than I am. He's a value 7 tile, though, and that is his biggest advantage. Dominate a line, score a bunch of points, and move on. Voluspa has some wonderful artwork, although most call it an abstract game. I think they've tied the theme in nicely. Odin is the strongest, Thor is next, Loki is weak, but dominates by draining those around him. I like to play while talking like an Asgardian, and we all have a blast. Just throw in an "I say thee nay, mischief maker! The god of thunder will outscore you all!" And pow, tons of theme. If you like puzzle-type games and outthinking your opponents, then you will really enjoy Voluspa and Order of the Gods. I warn you, though, keep it away from those cursed with chronic analysis paralysis. I like it with 3 or 4 players, but I really enjoy the one-on-one games, the best, as it really lets you pit your strategic abilities against your opponent. Thanks for joining me in this review of Voluspa from Stronghold Games. Let me know if you found this review helpful by leaving a comment or sending me an email at elliot_miller@voiceofe.com. Make sure to subscribe to the Voice of E channel on YouTube, as I'll have plenty of gaming, entertainment, and comic book coverage this year. And it should be a lot of fun. Thanks again, and until next time, keep your mind free while you can.
Get me that 6. We need more power.
Odin, the All-Father. Kisses.